guys, it's Jen. This is another Jen is Zen episode of Reframing Me. In these short bits, I give you something to journal about or meditate on. Today, I want you to think about this. We get to choose how we see something. We get to frame every situation we encounter. We get to frame our lives. Realizing that, how do you want to frame today? Every morning when I wake up, I start off by saying, today was such a great day. So many good things happened. I am such a lucky girl. Good things always happen to me. I've been doing this for, a good year and a half or two at this point, and I have come to realize that no, every day is not a great day. But yes, so many good things happen, and I am a very lucky girl. Do I just have a glorious life? Do I only encounter perfect situations? Of course not. No one does. But that doesn't stop me from choosing to see it that way. It's July in the South right now. And so it is pretty much always 1,000 degrees. I mean, it's only probably 90 something, but with the 100% humidity, it feels like 1,000. But even with that intense heat and that suffocating humidity, we do live at the beach. And so there's pretty much always wind. When we're sitting outside and we're melting, you can still feel the breeze and it feels lovely. Is the sun intense? Absolutely. Is the air thick? Yes, you could swim through it. But is the breeze just lovely? 100%. Like the humidity. It's July. It's hot. We can dwell on how damn hot it is, or we can enjoy the breeze. Our brain is under our control. We get to program it however we choose. We get to think about the things that we choose to think about. We get to focus on the things that we choose to focus on. And we have the ability to recognize our patterns of thought and to change them at any time. My son was assigned his UNCW housing this week. He's going to be a freshman. Finally, he has been waiting for an extra month at this point, and lo and behold, he's assigned to overflow housing, which means it's temporary, which means he could be moved to a different room or different dorm at any point, which means he has 3 roommates, not 1. It's not an ideal situation for so many reasons, but we're choosing not to look at it that way. We're choosing to look at it through a positive frame. It's exciting, an adventure. He'll have the chance to meet even more people. He'll make even more friends. He's going to be living in a much larger space. He's only 8 minutes from home, so he's already at such an advantage to other people that he is, of course, grateful. Does it kind of suck? It does. But looking at it through the frame of this sucks doesn't make it suck any less. In fact, when we wallow, it makes things even worse, right? What we look for is what we see. When you buy a silver car, all of a sudden you're like, every car I see is silver. When you plan a trip to Italy, all of a sudden you're like, every person I see on socials is going to Italy this year. When you adopt a puppy, all you see is people getting puppies. What we look for is what we see. And we get to choose what we look for, so we get to choose what we see. Framing is a very powerful concept, not only in how we see the world, but how we interact with others in all of our communication and all of our relationships. It's how we perceive and interpret our experiences, how we frame our messages and our discussions with our kids or our partners or our coworkers. And it can totally influence how they receive and respond to us. If we're setting rules and boundaries with our kids, we can frame these conversations in a way that emphasizes trust and respect rather than control and enforcement, right? We can frame rules as being guidelines for mutual understanding to get us on the same page. And that makes it much more of a partnership with them. Or if we have a disagreement with our partner, instead of framing it as a conflict or as a battle to be won or lost, If we can reframe it as opportunities for growth or opportunities to understand one another or compromise, if we can just shift the frame from one of being confrontation to being one of collaboration, we can promote and model healthy conflict resolution and communication patterns in our families. And with our coworkers, if we can frame feedback, whether feedback we give or feedback we receive, as being collaboration or guidance rather than criticism, we can all work towards improvement collaboratively without anyone feeling discouraged or judged. When you look at something, what aspects of it do you see? Do you see the positives or do you see the negatives? When you look at yourself, what aspects do you see? When you look at the people in your life, what do you see? Do you feel the sweltering sun of the day or the breeze blowing through your hair? And yes, you can totally feel both. And you totally do. And you may feel both in many situations. But which lens are you looking through when you think about that day? No, it might not happen organically. But when you catch yourself, just note it and reframe it. Realizing that you have the ability to see through whichever lens you want is so important for your happiness. I will be honest, this hasn't always just come for me. It is something that I have been cognizantly working on for quite some time. I know that my favorite version of me sees things through a different lens than the default version of me does. But I've come to realize that it is a choice. I have that choice. Well, I caught myself with this housing thing and I actually made the choice, like organically, instinctively, without needing to rethink or reframe it. I was so very proud of myself. Yes, of course, I'm not delusional enough to think that life is all sunshine and rainbows. No, I fully realize that there are lots of situations that you have no choice but to acknowledge the dark. And in those situations, yes, you need to sit with that dark, be with that darkness. But you know what? A lot of situations, we do have a choice and we can choose the brighter lens if we want to. Because we get to choose how we see something. We get to frame every situation that we encounter. We get to frame our lives. And realizing that, how do you want to frame today? Thank you so much for listening today and always. Please share the show with their friends. That's how we'll grow our community. Find me on socials. It's Reframing Me everywhere. And until next time, be well and communicate.